Hello, and welcome. This is Garden Gazette issue number 10, Love and Relationships. My name is Iworiosa, and I am an initiated spiritual guide and oracle and a love attraction coach. You can find me at moongardentemple.com. That's my temple. And this is the Garden Gazette. It's my virtual newspaper. One week we talk about love and relationships. Other weeks we talk about spirit and roots. Today we're talking about love and relationships. And this is something I've been really excited to share with you. I used to teach a class called Juicy Love Life. And somebody recently was asking me about that class. And they said the part that I really loved was the list. The list is where you list all of the qualities you want in your partner and all the qualities you want within your relationship. And then you use that to manifest or to become an attraction point for that relationship or that person or those persons to come in. If you want to know more about that, I'm not going to talk about how that all works in that manifestation process. But if you want to know more about that, look around on my website at moongardentemple.com or look somewhere around this video and I'll put a link so that you can find that, get that list for free. And I'll also talk about the qualities, especially for those of you who are like givers and generous people and you know, connectors and love relationships, the very important qualities that you want to look for in a man if that's what you're interested in, to attract into your life. So that's free. I'll put the link somewhere around there. What I want to talk to you about today is a quality that is so crucial, and it's something that people don't necessarily put on their list, and it's not something that people always think about, and it comes up 8 times out of 10 in the sessions I have with women who are going through. I work with women a lot in just their love journey, and a lot of women I'm talking to are getting over like someone who's really important in their life, or trying to end a pattern that is plaguing them in their love lives. And it happens so often that they are talking about someone in their life. I usually work with women who are interested in men. There's a man in their life who has another woman in their life that the relationship is unclear, and she feels like this person is kind of putting a wedge between her and the guy that she wanted to be with. This is a story that goes, you know, beyond time. You know, we Shakespeare writes about stuff like this. You know, this is something that has repeated over and over again. And so I want to talk to you today about why this quality of your person or your intended person, the person that you are attracting to you, has clear relationships. Now, if you are polyamorous or if you have sort of an alternative, something alternative to monogamy, this might not be that important. And that's okay. I'm not here to yuck your yum. Like, whatever works for you, works for you. I'm talking to you if you are someone who's a connector, who's generous, who's empathic, somebody who's a nurturer. If you have some of these qualities, you relate to some of these qualities, there are certain things that you are going to want to look for and attract to you that you might not be thinking of in a potential future partner or partners. And one of those things is clear relationships. Number one is because if they have unclear relationships, if there's someone hanging around in that person's life that is a woulda, coulda, shoulda, is somebody that he you know, they were together in college or something, and then the only reason it didn't work out is because they moved, and then she's back, and you feel that it's unclear, like, you know, they're friends, but it's not like his other friends and all of that. If it's unclear, then you really need to ask him to find the clarity or make a new decision about how deeply you want to be bonded with that person. Energetically, when somebody has a woulda, coulda, shoulda around, like this, and by woulda, coulda, shoulda, I mean, there could have been a relationship here, or this person that, you know, he's always liked but never could be with, that you now know about because you just happened to talk about it one day, that he also works with. Like, those woulda, coulda, shouldas, if they're not clear relationships and there's still desire there, you can't gloss over that. Like, if there's desire, there's an opening, right? And I'm not saying you're going to get cheated on and all this stuff. I'm just saying, if you want to be in a balanced, healthy relationship, if you want to even be in a long-term relationship, it's important that your partner is clear with the women, or, you know, whoever your partner is, with other people in their life about, I'm clearly over here with this person, meaning you. I'm clearly over here with this person. I don't have interest in anybody else. And that person that is maybe the woulda, could have been the woulda, coulda, shoulda, there's a distance. There's a boundary with that person. He's not opening the door for a deeper energetic connection. Okay. One of the women I talked to just this week is with somebody she's been with for 2 years. And there was somebody that this guy was with that this guy was with. And the only reason that they broke up was because they moved away from each other. She moved back into town. And when she came back into town, it was the first time that this client had seen him act a certain way with a woman. It wasn't full out flirting. It wasn't anything like that, but they started spending more and more time with each other. And it became, the relationship wasn't just like we're seeing each other as friends anymore. It was like, she said, it was like they were kind of like courting each other, and it was an unclear relationship, right? And so that will stay, like, whether something happens or not, that is always going to be an open door. And if what you want is to be in a monogamous relationship, to be with one person, to build with one person, to have clarity in what your relationship is with that person, he's got to be clear, or they have to be clear with everybody else, right? So that's like the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Then there's things like clarity in relationships outside of like other potential partners. You want to be with somebody who has clarity with their relationships, whether or not they are parents or kids or pets, whatever that is. Because if they're not clear, that means that there's like a wounding, a discrepancy, a confusion, and it's being carried around and not addressed. And when it comes to relationships, when it comes to people beings that we interact with, if there's a wounding or discrepancy or like some underlying emotion like anger or resentment, that's just gonna, unless it's defined, unless it's called out, it might not be able to be healed overnight, but unless it's called out, named, and defined, then it's something that is going to constantly be coming up for that person and eventually could possibly be projected onto you. And I'm talking specifically now, this could be for anybody, but especially you empathic, you givers, you people who can sense things. Like, this is something that you want your partner and yourself in your life want to be really clear on. And here's an example. If you are with a partner who, say, does not talk to their brother, okay, and there's, you don't know the reasons why, and it might be your place to know or not, but you don't know the reasons why, and your partner is like very angry about it, right? Very irritable all the time. And that irritability is now leaking into your relationship. Then that's going to be a problem. All that unnamed stuff is going to be transferred onto you. Now, there's a difference between that and when that person has a problem with their brother, but it's named. I do not engage with my brother because he's a violent person, because it's unsafe to be around this person. That is clarity. I don't talk to him because he's a violent person. That is clarity, right? You know why. And also, if it happens to come up in your relationship, okay, stating it is the first step. Of course, you want to encourage that person to, hopefully that person is going to work on it and work on their anger and all this other stuff, right? But it sometimes takes time. That doesn't happen overnight in a relationship. Sometimes you're with somebody who has some stuff that they have to deal with, and sometimes it comes out onto you. But you want to know that they are completely aware that this relationship over here is affecting them in this way, and it's not being generated from your relationship. Does that make sense? We are just like these beings in this environment, and our relationships feed everything into, like, really influence our emotions so deeply, and how we relate with one person is going to affect so deeply how we relate with others. So if you have a partner who has like an intimate connection to someone, even if they don't talk to them anymore, has an intimate connection with someone else, and it's not clear about what that connection is and what the boundaries are and all that, it will feed into your own relationship. So having said all of that, and why it's so important that you attract or ask for or pay attention to the clarity of relationships in your partner or your future partners, right? Having said that, it's also important that inside you, that you be really honest about your woulda, coulda, shouldas and the clarity of your relationships. I know that when in my past life, when I have been very, very angry with an ex, even though I knew I was done, I knew I was done with that person, like, I didn't necessarily name the reasons. I just knew I was done. I didn't understand like the nastiness that was in me, that I then, when I was in the next relationship, started coming out, and I started projecting onto that person in that relationship, and that person didn't do anything. They didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that. Luckily, we worked it out, because that was also around the time when I started going to therapy and going through what I needed to go through, doing spiritual cleanings and all of that. And so I was able to really name oh, that breakup was because of A, B, C, and D, and this is what I carry from it. I'm now aware of it. I have clarity about that now. It wasn't just it broke up and it was whatever, I just didn't like that person anymore. The breakup was because of these things. Now I know, and now I know what my boundaries are. Now I don't have an energetic connection to this person that never had a clear severance, right? Now I'm free, right? Now there's still emotional work to do. It doesn't just end in a day when you name it. That's just the first part of the remedy is naming it, right? There's still work to do, but it completely changed the quality of my relationship with this person I was with now. Clarity over there, clarity over here. So that's something that's so important for you to also look into for yourself. And I also, for those of you who really want that soulmate, the person you build your life with, it is the biggest gift to go into that relationship without having these energetic ties, these unnamed wounds, these woulda, coulda, these thoughts of maybe with this person over here that I missed my chance with. It is such a gift to walk in clean into that relationship, that long term that you build your life with. It's your seeds and your roots will grow that much faster, believe me. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Again, if you want to know more about that list and learning how to manifest from your list, and also the qualities, recognizing and manifesting, manifesting those qualities and potential future partners, I will put the link for that somewhere around this video, where you can find it on my website at moongardentemple.com. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad to hear all of your comments and all of your feedback. And let me know, what else do you want to hear from the Garden Gazette? I love interacting with you in that way. It's medicine for me. It warms my heart to know that you are receiving. So thank you all so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'll see you next week.